How's it going, guys? I'm Josh. Welcome to another episode of Photographing NYC. Today we are in the beautiful Dumbo, Brooklyn, in partnership with Canon. Photographing, this is one of my favorite New York City neighborhoods with the Canon EOS M50. Very powerful little camera. Dumbo is an old manufacturing neighborhood that's had a crazy resurgence in the last 20 years. So as a result, it has this awesome rustic industrial charm mixed with some modern design elements. Basically, a photographer's playground. So we're gonna start here in Brooklyn Heights Promenade and take some beautiful street photos. The promenade is amazing because you have these immaculate views of the skyline the entire way around. However, my favorite part of this is actually the walkways that lead into the promenade, because they have these nice arching trees that bring a really natural framing element to your photos, and they have some beautiful light in the late afternoon. And you can just take a photo straight from the top, and that's gonna look pretty good. Now, to make things a little bit more interesting, we wanna introduce a subject into the photo. Now, you could ask a random person on the street to step into your photo, and that's what I did for this basketball shot, or you can have a friend model come on in. Shane, are you ready to do a skateboard trick for us? Shane, can I have you do it in the light right here? I'm gonna set my drive mode to high-speed continuous shooting because this camera can do 10 photos per second. Incredibly fast, super hard to miss a shot. Woo! I'm gonna get super low now just to add some texture to the ground. For this shot, we have some really nice curvature from above. This is where the vari-angle LCD comes into play, because I can actually hold my camera out way over the ledge, look through the LCD screen, and still see it and have that perfect perspective. If you're wondering where all these photo spots are, I've created a map with all of them, link in the description to check it out. Let's move on to the next spot. Another interesting little secret spot of mine is we have this really nice driveway with incredible ivy. So we have some really awesome shapes. We have the corner forming this nice triangle, and then the bridge is also its own triangle. I've got my wide angle to shoot straight up with. We'll get some neat stuff here. We're now along Water Street, and what's awesome about this street is when the sun sets, oftentimes it's perfectly aligned with this street. That's how great Dumbo is designed. So when you shoot right in the light, you have the bridge in the background, you have this beautiful cobblestone, and you have super dramatic shadows. I like to compose a nice cityscape and then wait for someone to come striding through the shot to add a nice foreground element. One of the great things about how bougie this neighborhood is there are lots of beautiful dogs being walked. So wait for those nice dogs, grab those mid-stride pics, and you're in good shape. Let's keep on walking. Welcome to Waters and Washington Street. This is hands down the most cliche photo in all of Brooklyn. Everyone loves to have the Brooklyn Bridge framed up with the Empire State Building in the middle. Now here's the thing, don't be discouraged by photographing cliches. Even though these things have been done a million times, you have not done them. And as a beginner photographer, they're giving you a good guideline of what to shoot. You can take photos of people being taken photos of, and people look pretty ridiculous here. You're gonna find tons of random great lighting as you're walking throughout the city. When you see it, don't be afraid to have your model step up for a portrait. If you don't have a model, wait for the right person to come through for a street photo. Next spot is more just a general area. I recommend going to the corner of Pearl and Front Street. You have so many amazing rustic brick buildings and lots of very cool industrial stuff. So go explore, look for where the lighting is nice. I love using the reflection of cars in my shot because it adds a really nice balance to the photo. Quick side note, while the legality of street photos varies by state and country, when your work is used for commercial purposes, like this sponsored video, you need a release from identifiable subjects, hence the blurred faces. So if you're doing street photos, commercial work, or commercial street work, I'd research the photography laws in your area to make sure you're in the clear. We're now going to take some street photos of people. Now I'm going to take this EOS M50 into silent shooting mode, which makes for perfectly silent photos, really great for keeping things subtle, getting those natural candid moments. Did I just take a photo? You'll never know. Let's take some photos though. Quick 60 frames per second video test and skate break. Next spot is one of my favorite locations in Dumbo. This is Pier 2, and There's so much happening here. You've got basketball, ping pong, swings, so much action here, which is really great for photos. And of course the obligatory rollerblader is great. We've got this nice setting sun over here. I'm gonna see if I can silhouette some people on the swings. Two main tips for this. One, you're gonna wanna use a fast shutter speed to capture this action, maybe 1/500th or faster. And two, framing is huge. Use these nice lines from the building to frame your subject. It's just a nice border for them. You also have the Statue of Liberty in the back, so we can try and catch that. Lots of potential at this spot. So good, perfect sunset spot. Our next spot in Brooklyn Bridge Park is these abandoned piers. These are a really nice foreground element for getting some skyline cityscapes. Let's talk about this triangular prism. You can get this online for 15 bucks, and it's incredibly reflective, which allows you to get some really cool artistic shots. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it right in front of the lens and just kind of twirl it around until I find a nice composition. Change of pace. I love the way this water is falling on these rocks, so I'm gonna take some slow shutters. A couple pointers for long exposures. First, take a moment to appreciate this beautiful tranquility. This is amazing. Second, because the water is always flowing differently, I'm gonna take the same photo a couple of times just so that we have options. We never know what it's gonna look like. Should we go eat some pizza? All right, done deal. Sun is set, stomachs are full, and we're now gonna shoot some beautiful long exposure cityscapes from Pier 1. Pretend I have one slice of pizza in this hand, and I just triggered the photo with this hand. That's beautiful multitasking right there. I want to do some super long exposure photos to actually smooth out the water and get really nice, clean reflections of the skyline. So to do that, I've actually connected the EOS M50 using Wi-Fi to my phone. So I've got the Canon Camera Connect app on here, and now I can control everything from here. So now I'm going to do some 60-second long exposures using bulb mode, and to make it even more exciting, we're going to do a panorama of the entire thing. Final stop of the day, Pebble Beach. We have some incredible views of the entire city skyline, both bridges. We're gonna do the same thing as before, some panoramas. I'm gonna experiment with a couple different long exposure lengths. So notice the difference as you go from 15 to 60 seconds, how the water smooths out and reflections get stronger. Longer exposures equal better reflection. If you wanna learn more about how to shoot panoramas, you can check out my tutorial right over here. We have shot so much today. Dumbo is so small, yet so beautiful. We've shot everything from street photos, action shots of skateboarding, cityscapes, long exposures, panoramas, portraits. Huge thank you to Canon for sponsoring this video. And this EOS M50 has been really compact, such a delight to use. Now do me a huge solid and vote which neighborhood I should shoot in my next video. Whichever one gets the most votes, I will be hitting. Anyway, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you eventually.